Good evening, everyone, and welcome to TF Live. I am yauch. With me tonight is roamer extraordinaire for Jasmine T, Rocky, and we are covering the Premier Division semi-final between No Safe Word and the Right Wing Death Squad, winner of which will go on to face Big Rocky's team on Sunday in the grand final. How are you tonight, Rocky?
I'm really good. Looking forward to this game.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one. We've got a strong ozfortress showing in this one as well. Of course, I've got to mention Wiethoofd on production as always with some excellent graphics. Before we get into rosters, Rocky, do you want to give us any sort of preliminary thoughts, any favourites or anything like that? Any expectations?
Well, I don't think to anyone's surprise it's probably going to be No Safe Word for the favourites, although I'd like to see an upset.
Oh, I think everyone would like to see an upset. We always root for the underdog.
Of course.
Yeah, except when they've got things like gassing people in their nicknames, but we won't get into that. As before we get into some pregame, I'll go through the rosters really quickly. The roster for Right Wing Death Squad, the scouts are Fwishy, who I'm just going to call Fishy because that's pronounced awfully. Ben is the other scout, KPC is the roamer, HSR is the pocket, Moop is the demo man, and Doge is the medic, with HSR and Fwishy both being Asia Fortress players. On the side of No Safe Word, the scouts are Hertz and TJ being another Asia Fortress player, actually, who played against Fishy and HSR in this Asia Fortress season. Sol is the roamer, Yule is the pocket, Enrith is the demo man, and Locke is the medic. I'll go straight into it, Rocky. Who are the impact players for Right Wing Death Squad? Who are going to be the players that are the catalyst for any potential upset we might see?
I've been really impressed by the two Southeast Asian players. It just seems in general the CE players are really powerful.
Yeah, I don't think that DM's ever been in question. Anyone who caught that massive best-of-5 grand final would see that the DM is no issue for these guys. And HSR, I really quite rate him as a pocket. He does, he's a bit more passive, which might be in part due to his ping, but he also plays a sort of more conservative role that you don't see from a lot of Australian pockets, where he doesn't take as much unnecessary damage and sort of plays a really supporting role in the combo rather than going in, getting deep, and relying on hitting insane rockets.
You can't really afford to go crazy when you've got ping like that.
Yeah, and he still manages to get work done.
He does.
Yeah, which is really quite impressive. Fwishy and TJ being the other Asia Fortress contingent. Fwishy, I don't know, it's quite funny watching these two play. The two Asia Fortress players on different teams, they have very different playstyles, I'm going to say. Fwishy is a very aggressive scout, and he uses his ping maybe a little bit to his advantage even because he is quite tricky to hit, whereas TJ is a much more combo-oriented player. That'll be an interesting matchup, Rocky. What do you see happening there?
Well, I wouldn't doubt TJ's aggressiveness. He's extraordinarily aggressive, but he is a lot more heal-intensive than his counterpart.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Also, Fishy is a really, really impressive sniper. And he can easily switch off and cause havoc on that.
Yeah, and if he does, I'm willing to bet Hertz is going to contest him. He's going to see that as a challenge, and he's going to go right up against it. Hertz liking is off-classing.
Yeah.
We will go through the maps very quickly. I'll go through the whole pick ban process. It used to be done in the servers, which was a little bit more fun to cast, but alas, those days are past, and we have automated the entire process. The future is now, Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
But No Safe Word had the advantage of being the higher seeded team, so they had the pick and ban advantage. They opened it up by banning Gully Wash, with Right Wing Death Squad banning Granary. No Safe Word with the first pick on Process, Right Wing Death Squad on Badlands, and No Safe Word picking a Snakewater Decider. Is there anything really to read into there, Rocky?
No, I think Process and Snakewater, they're most staple maps for No Safe Word. I'm not entirely experienced with Right Wing Death Squad's favourite maps, but it's pretty evident with their picks and bans what they intend.
Yeah, that's very fair. It's going to be interesting though, because I remember playing against Right Wing Death Squad on Process in week 1 of this season. They were extremely strong. They were probably coming up against like one of the strongest forms of our roster, with Mac hitting just about everything, but they are very, very good on Process, so I would like to see them sort of show up here. I don't know if they're going to quite be able to take it away from No Safe Word, especially if you say it is their staple map, but
I'm inclined to say it's probably their best.
Okay, well, even so, if they're able to, it is one of their better maps on Right Wing Death Squad. So if they're able to contest no safe word on their own map, then that'll give them a fair bit of momentum going into their own pick of Badlands, which would be quite interesting to see. So there's probably a lot riding on this first map now. As I hope you have the SUV, it is in Mumble. Rocky.
Yep.
All right, fantastic. Probably touch on a little bit of the goings on between these internally with these teams. I've heard that there's a little bit of friction in no safe word. Do you think that'll impact their performance in any way? I don't need to go into any details, but yeah.
Of course, won't get personal. I do hear there's a bit of sexual tension, but
oh yeah,
for the most part, it doesn't seem to impact their game so much. Although apparently it's gotten quite bad, so it's yet to be seen.
It's like the 70s in there. It's just but one big love fest, so much sexual tension. But yeah, it's exactly right. We've already touched on it briefly. You said the ozfortress players are the big impact players for Right Wing Death Squad. You came up against No Safe Word last week, and you guys won pretty convincingly, but they did have their moments in those two maps. I want to know who you think are the big impact players from No Safe Word who are coming into this as the favourites.
It's their scouts. They definitely do. I think they do the most work, apart from Enrith. And on a map like Process, which I think is very scout orientated, because it's so open and there's so much freedom to move around. Like scouts are so dominant, and when we scrim them, it's definitely the scouts who cause us the most grief.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And Process also a very open map. You touched on it briefly with Fishy, and Hurt's certainly liking a bit of a snipe as well, so that could be something that comes into play.
Yeah,
you see winning that matchup. That's an interesting one, honestly.
They're both excellent snipers. Hertz is a lot more prone to switching off to it, I'd say. Like, he does it every time he dies and defends, pretty much. Fishy a lot more, reserved, I'd say, but really amazing snipers, I think.
Yeah, that'll be really interesting to watch. It's not unfamiliar to see some big sniper plays coming out on this map, which will be fun to watch. We have got 12 players in the server in real time now, so we are just about ready to go. One thing I want to touch on is you mentioned HSR as one of the big impact players as he gets a pre-game market garden on the Soul. That's a good start. That Soul won't be happy about that, but
no.
I'd say there's a bit of a disparity in play styles, definitely not in skill, but in play style between yauch and HSR, the pockets for both teams. I'd say yauch is he likes to play a very pocket in the sense that he is one of those OG dudes. He likes to get his 300 and put himself in the middle of the action, whereas HSR sort of exists more so to enable Moop. Do you think that is fair enough to say?
Yeah, yauch's a bit of a man after my own heart in that regard. I think he makes it work, though. Like, they definitely revolve around yauch's healing for their pushes.
Yeah, it's exactly right. He's always leading from the front, is yauch, and which is interesting because I think, I don't know, looking at the Right Wing Death Squad roster and having played against them, they're very much prone to leading pushes with their, with their scouts and almost with their roamer, I'd say. KPC, a player we haven't mentioned at all in this pre-game, he's by no means their flashiest player for Right Wing Death Squad, but he is very much their initiator, whereas Soul is probably a much more passive roamer. It'll be interesting to see that matchup coming up on the flank as well. Do you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Soul definitely tries to outplay his opponents with the mind games.
Alright, as we are going to be going live soon, I'll throw it to you. Say anything you want, Rocky. Any last thoughts before we go live?
I don't think I could go too much on about it. I'm not super familiar with Right Wing, but we shall see.
That's fair enough, and I'll hit you for a prediction then in that case.
It's going to be no safe word, I think. To maybe like 5-2.
Alrighty, that's fair enough. Well, at least Right Wing Death Squad aren't getting win differenced in your head as we are going live. No? Yes. I think I'm getting baited as Enrith doesn't know how to type his alias properly. We'll be heading to mid very, very shortly, I imagine, but yeah, I don't know. This is going to be a good game, and this is a map that Right Wing Death Squad, I think, have the potential to cause an upset on, as we do see them going live here. Up on the first mid of the first map of Process in the semi-final for the ozfortress Premier Division, Enrith getting there significantly faster than Moop actually, which is quite funny. Neither Roma opting to go for the fast rollout as KPC is sort of prodding a little bit. He's taking a bit of early position. HSR's going to fail to jump onto his own crate. Just sort of scoping it out. Very passive mid so far from no safe word side, but HSR trying to take height gets absolutely denied by the scouts, and TJ's taking a fair bit of position now. KPC is going to get shut down by his opposition Roma of Soul, and they had just been bullied out here. A right-wing death squad. Moop was down there very low for a little while, but he did cop a crossbow, and they are straight out of this mid, and no safe word are not letting up as they are pushing straight through wide in this sewer area. Yul's going to try and jump up a little bit, get a bit of space for his team. TJ and Enrith are prodding quite aggressively, but no safe word don't want to give this up, and rightly so, I think. But Yul is opening things up now with a really, really aggressive bomb. He's probably going to get taken down here, but he does actually manage to force out the Uber there. That's getting Doge down very, very low, so that's a very good play there by Yul, taking advantage of his superior health, and that's a full Uber advantage for no safe word.
So on that mid fight, our friends No Safe Word played really defensively, and they basically just baited in the red team, who kind of got their players isolated, whittled down, and they got a player advantage and started to push off that. And they got a force, and now they're gonna push into second with it. Let's see if red can force their medic.
Yul has rejoined with his squad there. KPC is going to throw himself at the medic, but he's not even going to come close. Fwishy is sort of hanging around on this battlements area. He's taking a fight with Yul, and he's actually going to pick up Yul, but get traded out in the end. But most importantly, there has not been a pop on the side of Wheatbix Kid Lock. That is an irritating alias because it covers up most of his name. They've actually used it on last here, and Enrith's got so much position here onto the point. Ben's going to get floated up into the air, but there's so much presence here for the side of No Safe Word, and the soldiers are just getting whittled down for the side of RWDS, and that is going to be a very convincing first round there for No Safe Word. They almost just seem to bait out the right-wing death squad players and just sort of chip away at them and get a health advantage, Rocky.
I think the biggest issue is, well, it's okay that they didn't force them on second. The red team didn't force blue, but they committed way too many people, and they didn't have a gun at last, so the defense was just non-existent by the time No Safe Word came in. Although Sol absolutely shits on Moop, by the way. That should be the end of that mid-fight.
Yeah, very much so. Sol with the fast rollout. He didn't even get his full buff, but he was right in there, right up on Moop's business, and got him after he got the pack, I believe. Moop's not sort of nailing these rollouts. He was significantly slower than Enrith on this on last mid, and he gets taken down quite low, and then killed subsequently by Sol on that mid. KPC is going to get caught out as they've just walked in through IT, have no safe word there with Sol sort of flanking around through the choke, but KPC caught in no man's land. Hertz is actually going to go down to a nice pipe by Moop, so that's some friend-on-friend action there. I'm sure he'll let them know about that. Yeah, and there we go, see Hertz in chat, and they're exchanging a little bit of banter, but importantly, Moop dying that so early that mid did mean that Doge was able to get out. So we're going to see a sniper on the spawning Hertz, despite the fact that he's very upset about dying, it looks like, but he's going to make the most of it by having a go on this sniper. No defensive off-classes other than a sniper of their own on the side of right-wing death squad of Ben, and that's not the sniper you were talking about in pre-game, Rocky. How do you think Ben will shape up in this?
I honestly couldn't tell you, I haven't seen it that much.
That's a fair enough assessment, yeah?
Yeah. Well, we've just got to pick.
Yeah, Hertz trying to peek in through the door too there, and we'll see what right-wing death squad up to do with this. Moop's spamming a little bit, but I don't know, they're not sort of looking super motivated to do anything.
Oftentimes, a single pick isn't sufficient to push out, especially considering how forwardly defensive No Safe Word is.
Yeah, that's a good point. They kept all their spam classes up there. I would have liked to see KPC, I don't know, just throw himself at something, and that's sort of what KPC does. He is just willing to be the Roma's Roma for his team. He's willing to just go and throw himself and get 35 deaths a game, but if it benefits his team, then so be it, and if he hits a shot, so be it. But it's going to be nothing at all happening, and Hertz respawning on Sniper again, so we're just going to see a bit of a reset here, and not a whole lot happening. Ben's actually switched off Sniper, so no off-classes at all for this.
Yeah, I feel like it's a mistake not running an off-class in this situation, because then you're basically just sitting around waiting for the enemy Sniper to get a pick, although in this case they do kill you, so we might see a push incoming.
Yep, they do trade out for KPC, but Hertz goes down. There's a lot of frags being traded out here around this door 1-2 areas. My camera's going to spasm out because I have the sniper POV, but the frags are definitely in favour of Right Wing Death Squad, who have managed to retake their second relatively uncontested, and they're managing to get into mid here now for free. Doge has taken a little bit of spam, not totally for free, and Solar's going to bomb onto him. Doge with the serious gonads there, but he does finally pop it off. He probably could have afforded to milk that a little bit longer because he couldn't have known that Sol's rocket wasn't going to hit, but the much later counter Uber comes out here from No Safe Word, and they're going to pick up Moop and HSR, so that is the combo classes down. That is all the spam off the field with the early KPC death as well for Right Wing Death Squad, and they're just going to be inserting themselves into the second of Right Wing Death Squad are No Safe Word, and Hertz is going to chase Doge into lobby, and all these frags are just falling with the stragglers of Right Wing Death Squad trying to get some sort of contesting going on between last and second. HSR is going to go down though because the Right Wing Death Squad players just getting picked off on their own last. Move is going to go down here as well, and that's going to be another very solid round from the No Safe Word side off the back of some really good Uber play.
Disappointed for Right Wing there. They got such a wonderful second engage, and they were able to push off. They were pushing off of it, but they really didn't respect how claustrophobic the choke is and how vulnerable medics are when they pass through it. And Sol he got the force pretty much, and that caused the counter initiation.
Yeah, Sol, he did beef his shot, but he managed to get the force anyway just by his sheer presence. He is going to roll out fast again, but Mook is savvy to it this time, not aggressing as far. KPC is going to go down to fall damage after getting pushed off his own crate. Bland is playing that high ground quite effectively though, but that's 2 soldiers down for the side of Right Wing Death Squad, just again trying to contest their own crate, but getting bullied out pretty hard by a combination of Enrith and the scouts. So they are going to back up to second here. They are holding in a pretty standard position. They look like they definitely want to contest second here, whereas Right Wing Death Squad are opting to push through IT. They're not being let in though. Moop is denying a fair bit of space, but they are going to be able to walk in under relatively uncontested actually. Yeah. And Moop and Doge are probably going to get caught out here. This is a very awkward position. Their health isn't great on Right Wing Death Squad. Rocky.
Well, we just have to see what's happening. Yule's retreating. Gosh, yeah, I think Right Wing kind of let them in a bit too easily there. Not really punishing the chokes and letting them move into a much more safe and open position.
Yeah, it's exactly right. They gave up a lot of position. They acted very scared, and they probably showed No Safe Word a little bit too much respect. And if they're gonna do that, yeah, I feel like they're gonna lose if they respect No Safe Word too much, because on paper they probably are the better team. So you got to see some gonads coming out from Right Wing Death Squad if you want to make this work and want to really show it to them here. As we see the 2-player sack going in for the No Safe Word side, KPC being traded out, doing the Roma special and just dying without achieving much, but they will probably reset here. I don't know if that one extra pick is going to be enough for Right Wing Death Squad to feel themselves. Yeah,
especially considering the respawners.
That's exactly right.
Point to push out of, especially against a team who knows how to force the attackers while getting the medic out safely.
Yeah, yeah, we've got the 2 snipers back up again. Ben, again, and Hertz sort of drilling it out in this lobby area here, but KPC's got a pretty good spam angle onto Hertz from that lobby area, so he won't be getting a shot immediately, but that's, yeah, it's going to be a bit of an interesting one. Yule's taking a fair bit of space and a fair bit of damage there. He could get caught out, actually, but KPC is looking quite laggy on the Roma roll, but Ben is going to dome TJ, so that's a nice pick there. It is only on a scout, though, and you sort of touched on this earlier about how the No Safe Word are really good at keeping their spam classes up in this situation and being really proactive. Their spammers, Yule's going to hit a big bomb, big midi onto the KPC bomb, rather, and Sol is going to be able to find 2 frags, actually, onto both scouts. Ben was, of course, the sniper, but it is the scout roll. He's going to get taken down in the end, but that is a lot of picks in favor of Right Wing Death of No Safe Word all of a sudden, and Hertz has got a lot of room to snipe here and does force out the early pop from Doge, respecting the sniper a fair bit, and the counter pop's going to come in now. Yule has got a lot of Uber to work with, and they've got a lot of position, and a lot of players in here do the No Safe Word side. TJ's going to find 1 pick, and Yule's going to get 2, trade out his life, but Fishy is going to go down here momentarily. He's on a very small amount of health. Moop's going to eat a headshot, going to eat 2 headshots.
Got actually triple railed, I think.
Got triple railed, actually, did he? The Quake announcer would be happy with that.
Going back to what I said on the first round, like, Right Wing Death Squad tried to force No Safe Word, but they committed 3 people to it. And even if you get the medic and 3 of the people die, that's not worth it. And it just let no safe word push to last.
Especially in a team with such high quality DM as no safe word, Soul's going to roll out fast again, but he's going to get punished very hard for it, but not as hard as HSR, trying to catch him out there as he retreated, and he probably overextended there a little bit, did HSR. Yule's going to find the frag on the move, so that's Demo Man down. Wishy's actually going to win a pretty clever 1v1 there with Soul, who I believe was out of ammo, but Yule is going to be taking his heals. He's going to put himself in that choke. He's going to actually get the crater frag on the move. I was about to say he didn't get anything, but he was going to find a lot of space for his team, but he does actually manage to find the frag onto the Demo Man. And again, Doge living at these mids, but not many other players from the right wing death squad really in a position to contest second, but with the Yule frag they might have a little bit more of a hope.
They should not be giving this up. There's no reason to give it to no safe word here.
And I think that's what no safe word are anticipating with Hertz spawning on Sniper and Ben spawning on Sniper. This is becoming a little bit of the little bit of a duel, and I think I'd say Hertz has had the better end of it so far, even though I don't think they've even seen each other really, but he's been having more success as Sniper.
I think it's the right decision from both players. They anticipated there wasn't going to be an engagement on second.
I suppose that's good, because yeah, well, like you said, right wing death squad need to probably have a little bit more presence in these fights and hold these choke points, like challenge no safe word at the choke points and say we're not giving this to you for free, because if you do, then a team with like such a clever roamer as Soul and like such good DM are going to punish you for it. As Ben actually gets the better of the sniper trade there, and he's going to get a peek in and dome Soul as well, not finding the frag, but Yule is going to get 2 big frags there. Yule and Enrith, going to combine. HSR is going to get the frag onto Hertz. And no, that's actually the medic. Oh my god, I totally missed that, Rocky. What happened?
Both soldiers committed onto Locke, who's quite infamous for milking a little bit too hard sometimes, and he dropped.
Is that a bit of a classic Locke? Is that what you say? That's a very good play, though.
He has excellent movement when it comes to dodging such things, but sometimes he just holds onto it a little bit too long, I'd say.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. If you're going to back yourself, then you might as well. The aggressive Uber is coming in all the way from Mubin. He's barely going to get caught by his medic. 2 HP before the Uber beam meets up with him again, but they're going to find the frags onto Soul and Enrith. There was a back cap going on. That was Soul with the pain train, and he's going to get cleaned up pretty promptly by the flank of the right-wing death squad side. These two teams just have the annoying, like, 4-letter aliases. There's Hertz is going to find a nice dome onto Moob at the choke point there, so that's a demo man down for right-wing death squad, but they're opting to push this anyway, despite the fact that they're at a player disadvantage with these spawners. Hertz going to get the body shot onto Moob, and there's going to be a lot of frags going down onto the side of right-wing death squad, but most importantly, they have managed to find the medic of Locke, and Doge is a long, long way out. He's within the eye line of Moop, but of Yule rather, but Yule probably won't get him here with the right wing death squad spawners.
They should definitely try and kill him here. No, he escaped.
Well played by Doge. He was sort of aware of it. Yule's going to bomb the choke but shoot the wall. He's actually managed to get down Moop very low, but unfortunate for Yule, who wasn't able to make the most of his positioning there. Hertz still on the sniper, but that's a big Uber advantage in favor of Doge, and this should be a right-wing death squad second push. They're just going to have to respect the sniper here, though, so they're going to need to try and do something to avoid popping here, especially with the soldier pick that they've got, but Hertz is super duper aggressively. He's anticipated that push through sewer, has Hertz, and he's actually managed to dome the demo and force out the Uber there, so APC is actually going to go down in that Uber. That's the and he's going to trade out for the sniper of Hertz. That's a really, really disastrous Uber trade there for right-wing death squad, and no safe word do not want to give it up, and rightly so, as we're going to see Soul contest a little bit, but no, they're actually going to get taken down. I don't know, I thought it was the right idea there from no safe word.
I thought they were going to win that, to be honest, because right-wing death squad pop really early, and it's usually really hard to recover from that, but their scouts cleaned up, and they're able to salvage it. Although, maybe not so much now. Looks like we're just going to go into a push from those safe word.
Yeah, Hertz picking two frags up in lobby. Yeah, that's how English works. I knew that. And that is going to signal the retreat for right-wing death squad. They are well out of there. I want to give some props to Hertz there. He was sniping, and he anticipated them to go wide through sewer, and so positioned himself super aggressively. He didn't end up getting picked for his troubles, but was able to get the force in a position where I think they would have gone that way to avoid getting picked by the Roma, as the Ubers are going to be traded here at the choke of right-wing death squad. They have a slightly bit later pop, and it has been a Roma trade piece, but HSR's chased a little bit too far there onto the enemy pack. He's going to get taken down. Enrith doesn't want to leave, and he gets a crossbow up, so he's probably going to be fighting this with the rest of his team. Yule's going to get completely denied by Ben. Again, living on a slither of HP, and Hertz is going to be the one to go down, actually. But Fwishy, trying to get something done on the flank, is not going to be able. Soul is prodding the flank very aggressively, so that will mean that Right Wing Death Squad do need to back up there. That's sort of been a bit of a story I'm noticing, Rocky, so far, is that they're just not quite able to finish off the frags on Right Wing Death Squad. Some of the no safe word players getting taken down very low, and pivotal players at that, but they're just not able to finish the frags.
I think the biggest thing about that fight is you would have noticed that when no safe word came in through IT, they got forced extremely early, and then they bombed the root team extremely hard and did massive amounts of damage and got frags before Doge popped the Uber. And since they had so many low players, Doge had to flash many times, thus reducing the Uber substantially to the point where they couldn't really engage back again.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Hertz is in through sewer, but off the distraction of Enrith, he's going to get taken down though, as is his distracting Deno man, so that's disastrous here for no safe word, as it looks like Right Wing Death Squad are going to be pushing in uncontested, rightly so. No safe word want nothing to do with that after losing their demo man. Enrith is going to get the forward spawn though. I do believe Hertz will miss out on it, but they are not stopping Right Wing Death Squad. They need to take this momentum and go, although Soul is hiding behind them. They haven't had to pop just yet. Doja's taken down. He's on a bit of HP. He actually manages to hit a nice crossbow there to save his demo man, and Fwishy is going to push in through the flank to get the force by damaging Enrith enough. Counterpop is coming out from Doge as the frags being exchanged on grass here. Fwishy gets the better of an exchange with Hertz there. HSR's coming in and he's managed to get the shoddy frag onto Sol, but Doge is going to get taken down by Enrith, so that's a medic down. Frags are being traded out all over this second point, and KPC is sort of the deepest in and the last one to die, as Yule is going to pick up the stragglers there, just sort of locking them in the choke point and putting them in the meat grinder, and that is a lot of dead players for Right Wing Death Squad. Ben has taken a duel on mid, and he's almost got the better of TJ there. They were both on like under 10 HP combined after that duel, but TJ with Yule is going to manage to get them up, and it looks like Doge has spawned on crit, so I like to see them taking this initiative, Rocky.
That fight, it really seemed like No Surfer just held the superior high ground position and also had a really good pincer engagement against Right Wing Discard, you know, spreading out their vision and stuff, and just colliding on top of them.
Yeah, very fair. I want to put my cam onto Moob, who is going to be presumably using this crits aggressively. This is giving me some deja vu to last season's finals, though. I don't know if you'll remember, Rocky. I'm sure Wiethoofd will, as he did take a crits in through grass and immediately died to a trap. It was very funny. It doesn't look like there's any stickies for him to walk on this time. Crits is going to come out. Yule's going to bomb the medic immediately and take him down. That is an absolutely nothing crits. Well played there by Yule. He had that sort of spider sense tangling. Soul's going to jump in, and he's going to get a fair bit of damage out, and they're going to force the Uber out there, actually, from a combined entire team of Right Wing Death Squad, honestly, dying to get that force. HSR is the only one left alive, and he's hiding in his own sewer. He's going to see what he can get done. Jumping in now. He's going onto lock, but he's going to miss the rocket, miss the shotguns, and then die. That's a little bit underwhelming. Yeah. Bad weapon, really. You really have changed your tune, my goodness.
Oh, I'm joking, of course.
Gumboats are getting to you, mate. You're softening up.
I don't know. There's a pretty shocking crits engagement, and I don't know. You should not be able to get 4 rockets onto the medic like that just by himself.
Yeah, that's very fair. The scouts didn't do a great job of denying him, but to his credit, he reacted so quickly to that crits as well, and really like negated.
That's the thing to do. Just kill that medic.
You're exactly right. Well played there by Yule, but they are doing the arrow building here, is lock on Right Wing Death Squad, so they are going to have built up a pretty hefty Uber advantage here. They are up on the Uber now, Doge only on 77%. They have got the full pro-lander defense on the last though. They're going to Uber in, and he's going to take down the sentry, but they've still got a 450 health heavy to deal with. This is absolutely disgusting. I'm vomiting in my own mouth. Enrith's going to get a lot of position, and he's finally going to take down the sentry and the heavy, so that's 2 off classes, but they do have an Uber up on side of Right Wing Death Squad, so the off classes did do their job. Doge is going to get forced out by Yule. Yule is going to get taken down, as is TJ from the shoddy of HSR. Soul is going to be getting out of there.
Soul is going for the wrap, actually.
Oh, is he? Yep, I was wrong, and he's actually going to go to last. And
Soul hitting an air shot.
Soul hitting an air shot. That's 4-0.
No, it was an excellent play.
So surprised. Yeah, well played there by Sol. He sort of recognised the situation quite early, managed to get out there and make the most of his life. And that is going to be 4-0 with 10 minutes left to play. That is no safe word, of course, in the lead, as Enruth is going to beat Moop out to mid again. Moop is not going to be able to get the pack, and Sol is going to not do the fast roll out, but still steal Moop's pack. He's going to get taken down very low, but HSR is going to try and punish again, not commit too hard to it though. As Yule hits a nice direct onto Ben while he tries to take his own train. He's going to trade out with Moop. But well played there by Yule for at least frag movie purposes. But there's a lot of position here for Right Wing Death Squad. Both of their soldiers are relatively unhealthy, especially KPC, but the scouts just aren't able to finish those frags. And so they aren't able to sort of contest the high ground there, as we see KPC bending the laws of space-time there in the air. But Enruth is going to get taken out, and that'll signal the end of the involvement for... no safe word in this mid, as we see Hertz warping around a little bit as well. That's a little bit unfortunate.
Surprised Sol survived there. They should have rushed him. I think if they would have killed him, they could have easily pushed him to second. Oh gosh, that's a sloppy getting spammed to hell.
Yeah, exactly. Ben's sort of eating a lot of spam in that choke point, which is impressive considering Enruth wasn't even alive, so that should have been an advantageous position for the Right Wing Death Squad. But instead, we're just going to see a reset. Hertz is going to force, despite being dead. I'm not too sure about that one, Doge. I don't agree with that at all, as Locke is going to pop on his demo man at the choke point much later, as HSR is going to warp through the air as well. I don't know if this is just me or the STV, or we're seeing some players having some problems tonight, but this is going to be 2 frags in favour of Right Wing Death Squad, and they're going to push in through this choke point and spam the rest of Right Wing Death Squad out. There's not much spam potential left there from the pocket and demo man of Right Wing Death Squad being dead. Yule is still chasing though. He wants this win difference, and he is taking them in so aggressively through this choke. But meanwhile, Fwishy is attempting to contest mid, but unfortunately he met 2 players there who were semi-stacking the cap. Enruth and Yule are going to go down though, which totally changes the tide of this fight. The Doge is down so low, but without those players committing. But Sol's actually, no, of course, I've been called out, I was wrong. Sol always knows, and he's going to be able to combine that frag, find that frag onto the low health Doge, and that is going to be a big Uber advantage again for no safe word. And this fighting isn't stopping, they're pushing in into mid, Rocky.
Yeah, it's such a mess at the moment. I think Blue's going to force them back here, and they've got a back cap going. Red got such a wonderful engagement against Blue, but they lost their medic to Sol before. Not really respecting him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Sol always knows, and he is so heads up in those sorts of situations. He's just got he's got a spider sense for it, and he is always going to find your medic in those sorts of situations. As they're jamming in through door 1, no safe word with their Uber, pushing back the combo classes from no safe Right Wing Death Squad, but it looks like the frags were going in their favour for a moment there. But that is going to be 5-0 on the first map of Process in favour of No Safe Word. It was their pick, but I don't know, I sort of picked them to show up a little bit there, Rocky, but Right Wing Death Squad, they sort of died.
They had quite a few scenarios where they were ready to push into last, but they kind of botched it. I think it could have been... They could have had a few more points that game.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think very early on, towards the beginning of the map as well, they were very tentative. They weren't willing to sort of contest points as hard as they were towards the end of the game. Like, I don't know, in a match like this where they are at a disadvantage, probably like in terms of DM rather and whatnot, coming in as the underdogs, they've got to really play like they've got nothing to lose. Like they were, by the time they had nothing to lose in that match, by the time they were 4-0 down, they were starting to take those gutsy fights, and they were probably showing up a little bit better. Those were longer rounds towards the end of the match.
Yeah, they definitely warmed up, but for the first initial rounds, it felt like they had a lack of assertiveness and no safe word, a lot more confident in practice, I'd say, as a team, and they're really playing their pushes and defenses much more effectively. Yeah,
you're exactly right there, as we are going to bring logs up on screen. They are in mumble for you, though, Rocky, as we'll bring them up. They're sorting my damage straight up. Yule and Enruth, top of the board. No surprises there. Both of them raking in above 300 DPM. Moop, the highest damager for Right Wing Death Squad. Flicking over to frags there. Hertz and Yule and TJ. TJ playing the cleanup role to a T with only 4 deaths, but Hertz getting a lot of frags there. Anything stands out here to you, Rocky? Or
no, this is pretty predictable stuff. Don't read too much into PC's stats, because that boy was lagging really badly.
He was lagging really badly, and he sort of was playing the very Roma-centric role anyway. Like, that's normally how he plays the very... Yeah, I don't know. I want to call it, like, somewhere between a sideshow and a hardloo, because just calling it a sideshow is too mean. But...
Yeah, it's a swear word almost.
Yeah, that's Roma heresy. Yeah, that's the dirtiest insult you can get as a Roma. We'll flick over to the medic stats quickly. Healing is pretty even, actually. Doge getting a slight healing advantage, but as I heard someone say in a warm-up thing that I was playing earlier, you can't heal more if your players aren't hurt enough to heal, so that might be a little bit of what was going on there for Locke. He did have one more drop than Doge, but the same amount of Uber charges, actually, so well played there by Doge to sort of have a good game despite his team getting sort of bent over a little bit. Surprisingly enough, Moop taking top heals and the Demo Man role above HSR, so I don't know if there's much to read into there, but I think that's just very much how Right Wing Death Squad play with a hyping pocket.
Yeah, I'd say so, and also No Safe would like to invest a lot into their pocket scout in terms of heals.
Oh yeah, exactly right, and TJ likes to have a lot of heals invested to him. It's not the pocket level 30% heals that he might be used to.
Can we talk about that? Because Hertz seemed to get more heals that game, and wasn't he the flank scout, supposedly?
Yeah, that's sort of the role that he's been pigeonholed into after Varna left the team. I don't know, I think he was much happier on Pocket Scout, but some of that might be due to him just playing Roma a little bit more. I don't know how that would affect the logs, really, but if he's able to sort of play a more combo-centric role, I think that will make for a much happier Hertz, honestly, and probably impact his playstyle positively in that sense as well.
I think they both like to play that sort of pocket scout. Maybe they're switching it up, because I've seen recently, the flip of it.
It's exactly right, but I think when they are looking to aggression from their scouts, it is going to be from Hertz again, and you see that with TJ only having 4 deaths, as we are on map number 2, Badlands. This is the Right Wing Death Squad pick. Anything to really look for on Badlands? Rocky, I know this was sort of this... I don't know, you guys had a very, very strong showing against No Safe Word on this map last week, so I want to almost argue that they're trying to counter-pick No Safe Word, our Right Wing Death Squad. Is there anything you want to watch for here?
I definitely think there are some pretty big holes on No Safe Word's Badlands play, and I'm not sure if that's what Right Wing Death Squad is trying to exploit.
Do you want to tell us what those holes are, or are those sneaky Jasmine exclusive strats?
The mid-fights are quite solid, but usually we're capable of exploiting pushes into second and last, usually catching someone up.
What was that, Wiethoofd? Alright, it's Wiethoofd just having some just classic producer drama right here with teams swapping colours. As we are going to go live here on the first minute of map 2 of this semi-final of the ozfortress Premier Division. Winner of this goes through to the grand final on Sunday against Big No Safe Word, who have a crappy Roma right here. Sorry, Big Jasmine T, but so I totally ruined that anecdote, as Demo's going to be quite even here to mid, but Solar's going to take some really, really aggressive positioning here, and Enrit's actually going to find the frag on to Ben the Scout. Solar's going to get taken out behind, but he's going to buy a lot of room for his team, and the aggressive players of No Safe Word are just going to be able to extend across the point and find a couple of frags, rather. Right Wing Death Squad have the better team health, but less players alive. Wishy's going to take the 1v1 with Hertz and win that out. He did have the heal advantage there, but Moop and Doge have to get out by the merit of it just being them alive. Yul looks like he wanted to go on a little bit of a hunt through resup, but he decided against it, and this should be a free spire here for No Safe Word.
It felt like the initial process middle where it felt like the blue team had a superior position, but they kind of overextended and got picked off, and then Red of course wins and takes fire.
Yep. Stalemate upcoming on last. Hertz and Ben spawning sniper, as has been a little bit typical so far this fixture. We'll see. Ben's 1-0 in favour of the sniper duel at the moment, but they haven't even poked into top lobby yet, have no safe words, so we will see what happens here between these two trades. that has actually allowed Ben to get quite an aggressive angle here, and he's going to get the body shot onto Hertz, but Hertz is going to get quickly out of his sight line and get crossbowed up. Fwishy's peeking quite aggressively in this top lobby here, but until these snipers get anything going, I think we're just going to see a bit of a stalemate. But other than the sniper, again, nothing really here in the way of defensive off-classes for Right Wing Death Squad.
Yeah, I'd really like to see a gun being established.
Hertz is going to peek really aggressively and get taken down by Ben. I mean, fair play to him if he wants to try it. Fwishy's going to sort of have a little bit of a peek at the scout in main and get taken down by the sticks of Enruth in turn. And yeah, that's going to be a pick a piece, but I don't know, like, sort of building on what you were saying, if Hertz does manage to find a pick, like especially if it's a major pick, as he's coming up on Spy here now, but it'll take him a little while to get into the fight. If he does manage to, say, drop the med here, all of a sudden you've just got a bunch of unbuffed regular combat classes. You've got no HP out on the field, no like sentry gun to invest in. I don't know, it's a risky play that Right Wing Death Squad are going for here, and looks like they're trying to invest a lot in a push out, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, no gun I think is a big mistake, and they should anticipate that Hertz could be switching off, because it was obvious that he was going for like a miracle sack.
Yep, he's actually showing himself as the friendliest sniper in the main there. He's on the dead ringer.
Does he?
Yep. Okay, this is...
Can our streams do that?
I hope so. Can you bring up chat, Wiethoofd? Nice hats, says Move. I think Hertz has given himself away here, and the dead ringer's orphanaut is going to be popped off, and he's going to find his way in under and then straight back out again.
I'd like to add that during that time he was still disguised as a friendly sniper.
Oh, goodness me, Hertz. I mean, I'll give him... Oh, he's disguised as an enemy sniper now, but he's still got a dead ringer.
Maybe
he's going to try and walk into spawn here, but hello. That's a lot of cap time they got on from Sol.
Oh,
he's actually going to get the back cap. He's going to face stab Fishy and get the back cap. What?
There really isn't much to say about that. That was just disgusting.
Take mid, Rocky. No.
Okay. Let's see which demo is fastest. Typically, Enruth's Badlands roller is much more substantial. Red extremely aggressive on the choke, although taking massive damage. HSR jumping in really hard. Great distraction for his team.
And he's going to buy a lot of space. Yep, sorry, I'll save you from the perils of play-by-play, Rocky, there. I'm sorry to do that to you. Enruth going down quite late in that mid as well, as they do extend into the choke, do Right Wing Death Squad. I still can't get over that, man. That was unreal, but good to see Right Wing Death Squad returning serve with a very solid mid on their own map pick, and they're going to take up a free Spire here. Hertz going for the Spy play again, dude. No! Don't do this to me.
I'm really pleased and proud of Blue, honestly. They really capitalised on the fact how low Red was and they pushed their advantage. Usually it would seem that they let Red team heal up quite a lot, but they got it this time. We should probably watch Hertz.
Yeah. No.
If he fucking won that, I'd
he nearly won
really
the 1v1
upset.
with Fishy though. It was the same player that he nearly exploited last time. Ben's going to send himself into Die to 2 Rockets as a counter safe there. I expect to see him spawning on Sniper. Unless he's sort of going to take a leaf out of the Hertz book and go Spy with a shit loadout. Who knows? But Ben, no, he is actually spawned up on the Sniper.
Hertz still on Spy, you kidding? Can't they like see him through the window?
This is, I don't know, this might be a little bit of typical Hertz play. This could be borderline.
Okay, please push. Please push.
This is seriously impacting my ability to do play-by-play when I'm giggling constantly. I need them to stop this. As Moop's going to be spamming a little bit from main, there's not going to be much going on here, as we're going to see Ben attempt to take an angle from, I believe he's looking from main at the moment. He's having a look through the barrels, but he's getting spammed out. Hertz is finally going to spawn on normal off-class of Sniper and have a look to see if he can pick off Ben. He's actually got a very good angle in there from the top left defender's perspective, but he's not going to be able to find the shot. So, he's actually got a very, very good sightline on there, and he could seriously cause some damage if he picks up really aggressively, but it's just going to probably be a wait until Never mind.
Oh my god.
As we're going to see Yauch take the really, really aggressive Uber trade. And he's nearly going to take down Moop as well. Really aggressive Uber there by Moop. And he's going to sort of stay there, exchanging in top lobby. The Uber is going to fade very shortly from the side of right wing death squad. Yul's going to find the demo man, but that's the demo man down a piece. And Ben's going to get the point blank dome onto Yul. Really nice play there. But Hertz has changed off onto his supposed real class of scout. There's a lot of players for right wing death squad on the last though. KPC probably could have killed Hertz there if he didn't have horrific Australian internet, the poor guy. Very nearly get the cap off there from the two players pushing in through the bottom left area, I believe that was, for right wing death squad. But Ben is still up on the sniper. I do not believe he died there after getting that pick into Yul into the top lobby. That's an interesting play there by Yul. I don't want to give Hertz any credit because I'm not even going to believe for a moment that was a distraction taunt. But
it was absolutely a distraction taunt.
Don't give him credit, Rocky. No, as we're going to see them contesting the Spire. Hertz is going to go down actually, but the position and the spam is excellent from the side of no safe word. Moop wants to stay in, and he's very, very aggressively as KPC is in the top lobby. Yul's going to get taken down. KPC is going to get taken down. That's two players cratering, but well played there. But oh no, I was going to say well played there by TJ to finish off the cap despite the spam, but he's going to get taken down by a combination of HSR and Moop with like a width of a nipple hair left of cap time needed on that Spire. I wouldn't be surprised if Hertz tries to go for that back cap, but he might yet, as Ubers are going to be exchanged through main here. Yul is being taken out of this, but there's a lot of players spread very thin between this lobby area. As we do see TJ actually, it was go for the back cap on the Spire. Very heads up play there, but it doesn't matter anyway because no safe word. I've got so many players in the lobby that they're able to pincer the retreating combo of right wing death squad post Uber. As I'm going to watch move, he's going to get a very nice pipe onto Hertz there, and that is going to be a wipe for right wing death squad.
It's so hard to read into what's happening, man. It's the biggest mess.
Yeah.
That push by Blue into last. While they were Uber, didn't really feel like they were accomplishing anything. They should have probably baited the point a bit earlier and forced the red to go down to it.
Yeah, Sol's going to pick up HSR, but KPC's right in onto Locke, but Locke has got the wiggle. And he is going to manage to juke all those KPC lag rockets. That's unfortunate still for KPC. I sort of feel for that guy because it is really impacting his play.
Absolutely.
We've seen it in a few of these situations. It's not just like, oh, derpy lag, go through the air. Tell me what happened, Rocky.
You're calling stickies to his teammate, and he still runs it and dies them.
As I'm going to thank Rain for clipping that moment earlier of the Hertz back cap. Well played, sir. You're a very conscientious stream viewer. As the Uber is going to get taken in on Enrith and Hertz through that top area. Hertz is going to get a lot of cap time down. They're going to exchange of frags. Enrith's going to drop down onto the point himself now. Probably a little bit pre a little bit early of a drop down onto the point there from Enrith, and Doge well played there to get the saw. HSR and Doge are the only one left alive though. Doge is going to try, but Moop is up on the spawn. He could use his sticks to defend here, but Yul has managed to find the frag onto Doge and onto Moop, and he's going to be able to cap the point on there. So I'm still hearing snickering. Can this game get any sillier, Rocky? What happened?
A miracle, what do you call it? Uber saw, but was all for naught.
Did he actually get Uber?
He got an Uber saw, yeah. But they weren't able to they were just sat on the point, man, not doing anything with it. Like, the entire Uber, he just sat down there.
Well, they did have to block the point, so they're between a rock and a hard
get the medic
place.
on there. Soldier can jump.
That's fair, as we're going to see another mid here. A lot of early positioning from this squad, but Enrith's going to sort of get in a little bit of a heal up now, and he's going to cement himself on this mid, and with the combination of just about everyone on no safe word finding frags, they're going to play this very well. Enrith jumped so deep, and he's found a move a fair bit more aggressively than he thought he was. Sol and Yul are going to pinch a move here under this grey bridge area. That was quite funny, though. I don't think Enrith was expecting Move to be anywhere near that close. Doge did get out all the way to last, very importantly, but he's still up on a 30% Uber advantage, which is definitely usable for right wing for no safe word. Sorry, if they move fast. Instead, they are just going to send the soul bomb onto last, and he's not going to be able to accomplish anything. Gets a smidge of cap time and a smidge of damage, but that's going to be it. Wouldn't be surprised if he holds the door for Hertz here.
Yeah, absolutely. Moop deciding that sticky jumping away was far too pedestrian and decided to just trade with the enemy demo man.
Oh, I mean, fair play to him. It bought a lot of time for his medic.
That by anyone else than Moop, that's fair.
Yeah, as we do see Hertz being led in the spawn there by Sol, and is going to spawn up on the sniper. Ben on the sniper as well. I'm getting a little bit sick of saying that, but it keeps happening. So we're going to see the sniper standoff here, and again from Right Wing Death Squad, they're still opting to go the very light last defense, we'll call it, Rocky.
Yeah, it's just wrong, man. Like, a gun is... There's no reason not to do it if you've got the time. It's so disposable. What? I don't understand. So they're going for a sax even though they have the sniper.
Yeah, well, that's fair play. That, I suppose that's going to open up a little bit of room for Hertz, but that said, Hertz does get domed by Ben, and I believe that's 2-0 in favour of Ben for anyone keeping track of the sniper running score at the moment. 3-0, thank you, Wiethoofd. He is keeping track, as we're going to see Moop lagging out a little bit there.
Soul on the Spire.
Fixture of this. Oh, yeah.
I'd like to just say that this is the first time that Soul has ever played anything but Soldier or Engineer in a game, so we should see how this goes. Hiding under the bridge, he's being the spy troll. I'm not sure what's happening. They're arguing about who's the utility, it would seem.
Yeah, I don't know. That's quite funny. They're running the double pick class. This spy play has been thoroughly uninspired here.
You can see what I mean, where they've got holes in their Badlands play.
Well, I suppose right.
So, they've got a sniper. They won't have any other utils.
Oh, actually, no. Soul's been spotted there, but he's actually gonna. No, Ben's gonna dome Enrith. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong demo man there. Soul's gonna get spotted out pretty quickly there by a heads-up turnaround. Probably a little bit of luck there by Doge, but well spotted in the end. And at the same time, Enrith's going to get domed by Ben. But I almost feel like Hertz won't mind this here. This is sort of inviting Right Wing Death Squad out, just giving them just enough rope to hang themselves with. If the Hertz sniper is able to get some shots going and hit his shots, he's going to be able to just completely send them packing here. As there he goes, he gets one, he gets two, and Enrith and Yule are going to combine onto the Remmer of KPC and Soul on last. So, I mean, I don't want to say that I'm an incredible caster, but I kind of called it, Rocky.
You did call it. I'll give it to you.
Thank you, friend. As, yeah, sort of very clinical defensive Spire while simultaneously offending last there by no safe word, I suppose you can call it. So I'll just able to slip in behind, but his
right wing just went all through the same side.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened there. Is we're going to see Yule and Soul opening up quite aggressively onto the side of Right Wing Death Squad there. HSR and Fishy are going to combine for 2 frags though, so that is 2 frags down a piece now as Moop is going to get taken down by his opposition Demo Man. The positioning is slightly better here for Right Wing Death Squad, but they do have the Demo Man advantage on the side of no safe word. Yule is going to try and get in there and get something done, but he looks like he failed his jump a little bit there. Enrith has actually got a fair bit of health now, and he's going to insert himself into this fight. KPC is going to trade out a frag onto TJ, but with the healed Yule and Enrith, just so much spam potential and so much focus spam damage that those guys have been really showing all game. They're going to be able to win that mid fight there just off the merit of that and bully Right Wing Death Squad out of mid, and we're going to see a reset at choke here with both Ubers up.
Yeah, it felt like a DM engagement, and no safer just came out on top. I think Blue could have won that if they pressed a bit harder, because they really isolated Red in the different parts, like the house and the choke insert, but they didn't really capitalize upon it.
Yep. What?
We have a flanker.
Oh, okay, sorry, I thought you said he was up in heavy. I wouldn't be surprised at this point, honestly, as Yule and TJ are both going to get simultaneously taken down by the combo classes of Right Wing Death Squad, and I'm going to call that a 2-player sack. I'll give them a little bit of credit on the side of no safe word. Soul's in the bush, surely not Soul. Fwishy has just been right on top of him, and he's probably going to get the force here. No, he actually does going to get taken down, but actually it is Locke that is getting forced out, and they do have a Doom to fail back cap coming out from Hertz as well. Do no safe word. They are spread very, very thin, and they are without a new defense spy. I'm not watching the cat and mouse stuff. You can run it up to speed for me in a moment, as they're going to push in through Resup, Right Wing Death Squad, and they're going to get a free spire, and they still have a full Uber advantage as well. Soul up on the engineer. Hertz still caught behind. He's playing a little bit of footsie with HSR, it looks like. HSR's waiting for him, but Hertz is so far behind, he doesn't want anything to do with this.
Oh no.
He's actually going to find KPC. Wow,
yeah.
That's a flank. That's a big flank. What happened, Rocky? You saw him better than I did, I believe.
Just Hertz getting away with shit that he never should do, but he did.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's probably Hertz's very elongated middle name. But, yeah. By merit of that, they've actually managed to make up an 80% Uber disadvantage, have no safe word, which is kind of disappointing to see from Right Wing Death Squad, that they weren't more savvy to that and they weren't more invested in just ignoring Hertz, who was finally going to get taken down. But it's still just a little bit of sloppy play from them. Sort of their priorities are a little bit out of whack.
They brought a soldier back. Oh gosh, they're pushing in. Okay, well that failed. So they brought a soldier back to try and deal with Hertz, but when he's behind you that far, he's pretty much useless. You can just push in and treat him as a player down. But
exactly. As I'm going to say words that are going to surprise nobody, Hertz is up on Spy again.
Oh my
He's
god.
having a bit of a float through the bottom lobby at the moment, just sussing it out. But unlike Right Wing Death Squad, they do have the Soul Engineer to fall back on if, and I don't want to say if and when, but if and when this fails. Jesus Christ.
I'm not sure I want to cast this anymore.
Can we tap out now? Weird? Is that alright? I think... yeah, we can go. Thanks for coming out, everyone. But goodness me, Hertz has got away with so much this game on Spy. He's playing his main and he's relishing in it, I think it's safe to say, as he's going to respawn on Sniper. Ben is on the Sniper as well. 3-0 for those of you keeping score, but Hertz did have that big impact on the second defense there for the side of no safe word last time. He's going to be taking some peeks onto stairs, and if Ben was to take an angle through main, he'd be able to get him, but instead he's going to find the frag onto Enrith, which is a much higher value target. Uber, it's going to be taken in through onto Moop. Moop's going to get the force out of lock, but Ben is going to find the frag onto Hertz. That's 4-0. I think you'll find HSR is going to get taken down by his opposition Pocket, and Souls and Sentry is going to be able to find HSR as TJ is going to get the sniper frag, but it's going to get taken down by Doge. Yule is going to take down KPC and Fwishy though, and that will probably be the combo of Naso forward pushing out, as there is absolutely nobody in a position for Right Wing Death Squad to contest for a back cap here, as they've just all rotated back to choke.
The blue team just sat in that spot the entire time during the Uber and didn't accomplish anything. They didn't even kill the bloody gun, and yeah, not much to say about it, so it's a really bad push.
Yeah, when you're Ubering in a demo like that, you sort of, I don't know, like, do you focus the...
You have to accomplish more than popping the enemy team. Like, you have to bait the point, or go for other picks, or kill the gun. You have to accomplish something other than just, like, be shiny.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't know, the way I almost think about that is that you want, if you're going to take an aggressive Uber onto your demo man like that, which by no means is a bad play, you got to have the double soldier spam onto the sentry coming out at the same time, as we're going to see the Uber come in here from no safe word. Ben is going to get taken down, but he's going to trade out for demo man, and there has not been a pop on the side of Doge, and they're going to recontest this mid with a vengeance. The Right Wing Death Squad and get a lot of frags here. TJ's going to find one onto KPC, but he's going to get taken down by his Asia Fortress companion Fwishy in that house area there, and Doge has still not taken a lick of damage. Really, really good retake of mid there from Right Wing Death Squad.
They can take this straight to last if they do this properly.
That's exactly right. Soul's getting up the NG now, but it's only probably on level 1. And they have got a lot of spawners here, have no safe word, but Uber's going to be coming in through main. Hertz is going to be going in through the lobby to try and see what he can get done here.
No one's capping.
HSR taking position in the shoot, but the rest of his team is just in absolutely man's land, and he's going to get taken down by 2 upward directs from Soul, and that was just completely rubbish. Uber from HSR, I'm happy to call him out on that.
It was just way too slow. They could have easily brought that Uber straight to last, had like the blue demo man protect the point, and have the soldier cap it. Just pissing around really, and not really utilizing any sort of advantage.
Yeah, it's exactly right. I don't know. I don't agree with HSR going up into the shoot there as well. I feel like going to the point is a fine play, but he's got to stay on the point because they managed to get Loop in so far as well.
There's no incentive to defend it.
Yeah, exactly. And like, it's not like when he's the only one in, they're going to have anyone else baiting point that he can drop down on. I don't know. It was just a sort of like, he wasn't really aware of the situation his team was in there, HSR. I'm not going to entirely agree with that, as Ben is on Snipo, grass is green, water is wet rocky. He's going to get taken down by the spam of Enrith at the choke. And Locke is up on a full Uber advantage, but Doge is getting relatively close to him. Soul and KPC are having a little bit of a duel in this valley area, and KPC is going to get the better of that before being taken down by Doge. But Ben's still up on the respawn. He could get forwards here. I think he will actually, yeah. And so that is going to be even players with even Ubers to defend second here. But that is not going to slow down no safe word, who are inserting themselves right into this resup area, and they catch a fishy napping there. He's sleeping with the fishes. I don't know. I'm sure there's a pun there if you wanted to force it. Yep. If you really wanted to.
Well executed resup bomb.
That's exactly right, as they are going to manage to pick the Roma there during that sort of uber mush phases as well, but they've sort of retreated to have the combo of no safe word. Hertz is going to find a frag on a Ben, and he and Enrith are going to combine to catch out an overextended HSR. They sort of vanished a little bit after that uber exchange did no safe word, but they were able to pick up the stragglers. I think it sort of caught Right Wing Death Squad in two minds, considering the combo backed up. They were sort of like, oh, do we fight this, do we not? They decided to do neither and do both at the same time, and they just got players caught out there as the
really good
sentry is going to die. Yeah,
and then right wing just way too spread out and way too far away from the combo, or not in a safe position, and just got picked off, pretty much.
Yeah, you're exactly right there. They're going to be building up Ubers here. Doge at a slight disadvantage, and knowing Yule, he's going to want to take this if he knows they have that slight advantage. But we will see what they do as Locke is up on his Uber here, but no, they're just content to sit in top lobby here. They have got a KPC engineer and a Ben sniper. I'm just waiting for Hertz to throw himself in, go die, and then spawn on a dumb class.
Yeah, I don't think that was negligible, man. They had 11 seconds. That's plenty of time.
Yeah, exactly right. But it just didn't seem that they knew that they had it, or that it was just from building or something like that. Because I feel like otherwise Yule would have definitely taken that. Sol's going to go down to move. Ben's going to dome TJ, but Yule's going to take down the Sentry. So that's 2 picks in favor of picking a 7th player. I don't know. Hertz is going to go down as well, trying to sort of get a little bit of gremlining done on the lamp there. And so he's probably going to spawn up on the sniper here. Ben is still on the sniper, getting this long sightline across last, and he's sort of locked off Lock here. That's an awful. I didn't mean to say that, but Uber's going to be forced out here. Ben's going to find the fully charged body shot onto TJ.
Poor Uber. Like, they should be able to clean up. Oh, but there's a back cap going on. Of course, there's a back cap going on.
Yep, Sol has been so savvy to those openings in their push out from Right Wing Death Squad. They just haven't been able to cover him, and at this point, they almost have to leave a player at last because he's just been able to do this so often. Rocky, what do? You just got to be better at pushing out, I suppose.
You actually go on the flank.
Yeah, because I swear he's got up through, like, as a spawner through drop down both times.
Yeah.
KPC is going to aggressive really, really early, and he's going to combine with HSR to take down Enrith. Enrith was just stuck on an island there on his own train. Really well played there by KPC. Sort of finally managed to sort out his internet there by the looks of things and get some stuff done. Sol's going to be coming in from the house, though. This is Sol's favourite thing to do, is to sort of come in late on mids from behind, but he's going to get taken down, and the player advantage is still solidly in favour of Right Wing Death Squad, who have been able to take this mid, but
why aren't they
need
moving
to go bloody fast to be able to equalise this with 6 minutes left in a 4-0 deficit. They need to go, and yeah, I don't know, they're just sort of a little bit too happy to get themselves some free cap points.
Man, I've seen spun up heavies go faster than this. This is okay. They just pretty much let Red defend the Spire.
Yeah, and Hertz is going to take that opportunity every single time. It's such a great sight line. It's probably one of the best sniper sight lines in the entire game, sniping here from Bats to choke. Yule's going to be fighting
Red here and milk it on the blue side a bit. Red should not be able to... What? This is pop. Oh, I don't understand.
That was a soft pop, honestly. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting messaged by a team captain that doesn't know how to do map pick and bans. You know who you are if you're watching the stream, but, yeah, that's exactly right. That's a bit of a soft pop there from Right Wing Death Squad and from Doge, but they have managed to find some of the frags, as there are going to be a couple of spawners back up from
entrance.
Oh no, that's disastrous. They had the frags, but again, they've just sort of not taken the initiative with it. KPC's going to get a lot of cap time with his pain train, but just they've been so stunted, and they haven't been decisive enough tonight on the side of Right Wing Death Squad, and I think that's going to be the story of why they haven't won this map. They've definitely had moments of glory and they've had opportunities, but they just needed to see those opportunities and then just instead of just sort of having a little bit of a tease around the whole of no safe word, they just needed to rupture them, and I want you to envision that, but they just have been too passive, and it's probably going to end up costing them here. Too passive and a little bit too sloppy pushing off Spire, as we're going to see no safe word recontesting their own Spire here, and they managed to find 2 frags. Moop is still wanting to have a little bit of a go at it, and Ben is fording at the medic, but Locke is never going to really sweat one scout running at him. Moop's probably been caught out here by TJ, and he's going to get taken down. He actually gets a crossbow. Is he going to be able to jump out? No, he just opts to get the pipe and trade it out in the end with the help of TJ. But this is, demo frag, and Yule's going to be taking this in through choke here. for the no safe word side. Uber's going to be popped off in kind. KPC is going to go down. Sol is going to go down. That's both roamers dead. Hertz looking like he wants to come in post Uber here, but they have got the spawners and the health and the position, and most importantly the hide ad here for right wing death squad on mid, so this will probably be a reset.
I was so disappointed by that blue push onto Spire. They had player ad, health ad, positional ad, and they still got popped. Like, the only thing soft in that Uber pop was me, honestly.
And that's as a result of that Uber pop. Yeah. I don't know. That's
and then they, without ad, they try and push and lower it. It's sort of a super desperate attempt. I think we see another super desperate attempt going on in the form of a reset push.
Yeah, well, they do manage to pick up the flank player first. I'll come back to that push on last in a moment. HSR's going to take some position on Bats, but Moop's going to get taken down by TJ, and that should be push over. Sol's going to find Ben. Andrew's getting pressured by a couple of players here at Choke. He's going to get the soldier down relatively low, but going to get taken down in the end. Yule is on mid, playing footsie with Doge, and he's finally going to be able to find that frag after a little bit of trouble. Fushi's taking a duel with 2 healed scouts in the main area, and that's going to be a very, very convincing hold. Fought on a lot of fronts there for no safe word, but back to that sort of last push that they had there. What they did have, they didn't have the Uber advantage because of the sort of exchange on Spire, but they did have the player advantage, and with that player advantage, they had 2 picks, while they had 6 up, but with those 2 picks, they decided to push through the one door where a single soldier can spam out your entire team with it, and it was not ideal at all. So we can see Ben sniping from Spire here. Sol's going to get the frag onto Fwishy, and going to get the frag onto Moopy's Yule on Bats, so that's really well played there by the soldiers of no safe word. Sol is surviving on 1 health at the moment, and they're just going to find all these frags in the lobby that are being donated to them, and with this Uber push on to last, that will be GG as they're going to cap it up, and that is 2 very convincing 5-0s there on the side of no safe word.
I'm not sure I'd say it was convincing for the second map. That was very back and forth.
Oh, well, convincing when they wanted it to be. How about that?
Sure. I mean, the scorer would convince most.
Do you want to give us some quick analysis, as I'm going to try and wrangle some players for interviews?
Gosh, do I dare try and analyse that? It was such a mess. Yeah, we'll have a look at the logs first.
That makes analysing easy. Wrong logs. Come on,
production giving us the wrong logs. These logs are from 2 years ago. No, we'll have a look. Pretty similar, sort of stats that we saw from the previous game.
Yeah. I have sorted it by the wrong thing because I'm not clicking on it properly, but again, Yule and Enroth top damage, both well above that 300, not well above, but above that 300 DPM mark. Ben, actually, wow. That's a lot of damage